We got the detainee for the interview. Hey, have a seat there, Miss Lady. Welcome to the weekly ride.
You know, people are entitled to their sexual proclivities. You know, I mean, let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned. You know, but I ain't spending any time on it because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person was torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
Welcome, folks, to another week of the Weekly Rot. Congratulations on making it yet another week in this dumpster fire we call Earth. I have a quick message for all the lovely, lovely followers that I have in this community, and I do think we have one of the better communities on the internet. They have tried to cancel us so many times, but here we are still. Having said that, some of y'all are really dumb. For all the people commenting, oh, I used to like your content, but now it's really just gone downhill. You're clearly referring to the fact that I used to criticize the Biden administration, and boy, did y'all enjoy that. But now that I'm criticizing the new government, your political cult of choice, which you subscribe to, it's really upsetting some of you snowflakes. And I gotta say, don't blame me. Listen, this is what real journalists should be doing. It's supposed to be unbiased. You're supposed to hold governments accountable above all else. But obviously that sort of media does not exist in America anymore. So I guess it comes down to a half-drunk content creator comedian who has to do it. So you're fucking welcome. By the way, and one more thing, you can hold Donald Trump accountable for his promises. You voted him in. He owes you. Just remember that. Do me a favor, folks. Pull Donnie's D out of your mouths and hold the man accountable. You're allowed to do that, you know. You voted him in. You gave him power. Where are the Epstein files? Would be a question. Moving into the headlines, our opening story. Have y'all ever wondered what would happen if the electrical grid went down? Of course you have. I, for one, sometimes wonder if that would actually be a good thing, to be frank, before our AI overlords can take full control. And I say this as a man who makes a living using social media, so you know I'm being real. But frankly, it would be an awfully tough adjustment, and folks throughout Europe got a taste of what that's like this past week. Spain suffered a massive power outage on Monday. The grid dropped 15 gigawatts in seconds, roughly 60% of the power the country was using at the time, after a disturbance caused multiple trips on the electrical grid. This snowballed into power outages in Portugal, and some reports that France, Belgium, and even Greenland were affected. Authorities are unclear as to what caused the disturbance, with some saying cyber attack and others claiming solar flare. As it stands, it is an ongoing investigation. I'd be remiss if I did not mention the fact that the WEF posted an update to their website a few weeks ago warning of massive cyber attacks causing power outages. So, yeah. Nothing to see here, folks. Honestly, solar flares are way scarier, in my opinion, because there's literally nothing we can do about it. Oh, and fun fact, a report done by government officials determined that within 30 days of having no power, all-out chaos would unfold around the world, which is why I want to make a plan with y'all. If the day comes when the lights go out, we should all meet up in northern Canada, Nunavut or the Yukon or whatever. There's lots of room up there and plenty of guns. Plus, there's baby seal clubbing. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. In other news, okay, wait. Fun fact, did you know that Spain canceled a massive ammunitions deal with Israel like 3 days before the outage? That's weird. But I'm sure it's just a coincidence. In other news, but almost certainly related, Citibank suffered a massive outage on Tuesday in America, with millions unable to access their accounts. Look, I'm not saying there's a cyber war going on right now, but there's definitely a cyber war going on right now. Fat man in a little coat. Let's talk about the Wiggins Wild Adventures channel, shall we? So last week, a TikTok channel run by a family of Americans, they decided to move off grid into the Arizona desert. I'm just gonna run this clip for y'all, and then we'll digest it together.
Well, now I'm recording like right to TikTok because like shit is getting real now. So we're off north of our property a little bit, and we were looking for places that naturally hold water, and we found this like little pond that's like north of an arroyo, and this thing is filled with kids' backpacks.
Like filled with backpacks.
And there's like a mound here, and
there's like a bunch of signs
there's more
of, like,
backpacks.
wildlife activity,
like if you dig down,
it's like
there's backpacks. There's little kids' backpacks here.
don't be too loud.
Like, there are kids' fucking backpacks here. I'm armed, but we found a place out in the middle of the desert north of our property that has bones and boots and
All sorts of shit.
kids' backpacks. Yeah. This is getting really, really weird.
Since this video dropped, the Wiggins have now shut down their main TikTok account, or it was banned. We're not sure. Whether that was their choice or not remains to be seen. But yes, after posting about these horrific findings, as you can see, they found a bundle of children's backpacks in a hole in the desert. The account is now mysteriously off of TikTok, and the Wiggins have apparently fled their off-grid home and are hiding out in a hotel somewhere. There was also a slew of other creators who came out the following days to discredit the Wiggins. And frankly, I have one thing to say about that. Fed behavior. I truly hope the Wiggins are safe, and honestly, guys, please reach out to my channel if there's anything we can do here at the Weekly Rot to help. One thing I know for a fact we can help with is getting you a spot on multiple government watch lists. As a society, we must start protecting these people who attempt to bring certain things to light. You know, whistleblowers, journalists, not Don Lemon, obviously. Or how about Epstein victims? You guys heard of the wellness company? Hey, let's go. What do you know? Hey, these guys have been a partner with the channel now for 6 months. They're the best partner we've ever had. They got our back. Now it's time for you guys to get prepared for what's coming. We don't know whether it's World War III, a pandemic, maybe both, recession, trade war. You know, there's so many fun options. The wellness company has got you covered. They have the contagion kit, which comes with ivermectin, Z-Pack, among other medications that will be increasingly difficult to get. They also have standard first aid kits. They have a spike protein detox if you happened to be a good soldier like I was during the pandemic and you got the thingy and maybe you're a little concerned about some of the remnants. Guys, they also have a spike protein detox you can get if you are worried about nanoparticles in your blood or something crazy like that. Do the spike protein detox. Honestly, I did it and I've noticed blood flow is way up. Anyways, guys, shout out to the wellness company. Go to the link in bio, use promo code 4REAL, and you'll get 10% off any order, up to $60 on some items. They also have a parasitic cleanse right now, a parasite detox, which would be worth looking into. Thank you, wellness company. Boom. And now, my favorite segment of the show, ladies and gentlemen, a segment I like to refer to as having a chat with your pothead cousin at Easter dinner. It's the rant segment! Hey, do you guys remember a girl named Virginia Joffrey? She was, she's this young gal here. The man holding her waist and groping her is Prince Andrew, in fact. Wouldn't you know it? I just want to say this, a quick note about the royal family. How are they still a thing? What? Have we not moved on from this? Is it just we like to parade the, the inbred mongoloids around and like clap and laugh at them? Or why are they still a thing? Anyways, Prince Andrew, ladies and gentlemen. This is Virginia actually giving Bill Clinton a massage at an airport. So, nothing to see there. And she's dead. Yeah. The media is reporting last week that she unalived herself. Quick question. Is there a single person on the planet that believes she took her own life? Like, what are we doing here? How does this keep happening? She tried to warn us 4 weeks ago, about a month ago. Virginia was hit by a fucking bus. And we didn't listen. And there is a chance she's in some sort of protective, witness protection program. Pray to God that is the case, but I doubt it. She was murdered with a capital M, and the perpetrators continue to walk free. Why is Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew not being questioned about these things? What are we doing here? Even Virginia's father and family are demanding an investigation into her death. And let's not forget about this tweet that she sent out in 2019, in which she specifically says, "I will never take my own life." Hello? Is this thing on? Like, what are we doing? Virginia Joffrey is also the accuser, the victim of the 2016 Ghislaine Maxwell court case, in which we were giving a plethora of fresh Epstein documents last year. Basically, we would not know about Jeffrey Epstein without Virginia. And we let her down. Hey, Trump, by the way, where's the files? We're living in a world where, Canada just elected Mark Carney, a scumbag banker who was friends with Ghislaine Maxwell. It's like, we all know it happened. We're all disgusted by it. And yet we keep on just living out our everyday, walking around, voting like it matters. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know. A lot of the words I want to say, I can't say right now on YouTube. So let's just end the damn segment, Tommy. And now it's time for the rapid fire segment. Okay, focus. You know how when empires start crumbling, the society gets sex obsessed and sports become absolutely ridiculous? Well, I'm gonna run this video for you guys. It's the first ever sperm race. I don't have any other words, and just watch the video.
2, 1. 2 entries.
Oh shit, they're going. Who's winning?
Once they enter the chamber, we are
Are you guys
live.
ready?
Off.
Oh!
This is enormous.
Shit.
Jimmy is off to the races. This might not even be close.
Oh my
All
god.
of those years of YouTube.
Who is that?
The feminist. The 800 credit score. Jimmy is long gone. Those swimmers aren't even on the screen. This is a
Jimmy?
microscopic
No.
masterclass.
No.
Tag.
No.
Tag.
Jimmy.
Tag. Unbelievable. He came
Yo,
prepared.
what the fuck?
Insemination.
CCP. I believe in your nut, Jimmy.
I remember my first sperm race. I took the trophy home, but honestly, the prize was not as cool as I thought it would be. That being existence. There was a massive explosion in Iran last week at one of the largest ports in the country. Officials and authorities are saying that it was improper fuel handling. The fuel in question was actually meant for ballistic missiles. So, I'm sure that is the real thing that happened. Moving on. Did you hear about the Canadian election? Who gives a shit? Nothing changes anyways because voting is a scam. If voting was possible of creating actual change, it would be illegal. There are whispers coming, probably creeping up from the Trump camp in America, that the election was rigged. And I gotta tell you, that's bullshit. I called it 3 weeks ago, right, Tommy? I said, Carney's gonna win. It was very obvious. Apparently, people that live in a sovereign country don't appreciate when the leader of another country talks about it like it's a piece of real estate or something. I don't know. On top of that, our Conservative Party is extremely out of touch, and Pierre Poilievre lost his own seat. I mean, it's going to be tough for that guy. He's never worked a real job in his life, but I will give him my burger order. I like the works plus mayo, Pierre. Thank you. And did you hear about the blue suit fiasco? Yes, Donald Trump, President of America, showed the Pope and the entire Catholic religion disgraceful disrespect by showing up to the Pope's funeral in a blue suit. Hey, Tommy, can you go ahead and zoom out in that picture, please? Oh, there's like 50 people wearing blue suits. This was a real story the American media ran. Keep up the great work, guys. And now I'm gonna just feed you a bunch of stories that would seem to imply that World War III is imminent. Are you ready? Let's go. India is to blame for Pakistani consulate attack in London. Yemen, massive strike by US forces kills 60 people at a migrant facility. Russia has denied the US peace proposal, which included taking over the Zaporizhzhia power plant. Putin said, no. But that's okay, because Zelensky also said no to the peace deal. Are we going to stop pretending there's a ceasefire in Ukraine? Like, can we just stop? How many times I got to hear that shit? Oh, and did I tell you that North Korea has finally confirmed that they are actively sending troops into Russia to fight against Ukrainians? I mean, we all knew they were there, but now they're just coming right out and saying it. And lastly, in the rapid fire segment, did you know Canada is about to disclose a massive report on UFOs? That's going to be coming in June. The feds will be dropping a fresh report on UFOs and extraterrestrials. And I gotta say this, my entire life, I believed aliens were real. But now that the government is telling me they exist, I don't think they exist anymore. Whoops. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first edition of 69 Seconds. I am your host, what's my name? John. I'm John. And here we have a distinguished guest. She's all over the media right now, Miss Jasmine Mooney. Oh, sorry. Forgot about it. There we go. There it is. How's it going, Jazz?
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello.
So, are you a criminal?
Do I look like a criminal?
I don't know. What's the worst crime you ever committed?
Are you narc?
No. Why, dude? You can't say?
Can't say.
The worst crime I ever committed was befriending a raccoon, and then I got it really drunk and I released it into my ex-girlfriend's house, and then it destroyed the place, and actually one of her roommates lost an eye. So how did you end up in an ICE detention center? What were you doing in America, first off?
I was working there legally.
Legally.
For a year, and then I went to reapply for my work visa.
So you had a work visa?
I had a work visa, and it got voided because apparently I'm not allowed to work for a company that sells hemp.
Right. In California.
In California.
That makes no sense.
Gray area. Super gray area.
Yeah.
And so I went to reapply for a different work visa with a different health and wellness company, and that's when I was taken.
So they can just void your visa while you're in America?
I was in Canada traveling back to the States. I'd been back and forth many times, no issues.
Sure.
And then one guy made it an issue.
And so you went, walk us through what happened the day they arrested
They took me?
Yeah, they took you, yes, yes.
Well, I was in the immigration office reapplying for my visa. I was in there for about 6 hours. They actually they were in the process of processing my visa. It had been accepted. And then something triggered them and they sat me back down. And then they told me, unfortunately, because of your issues in the past with your visas, you need to apply through the consulate, not in this immigration office.
So administration issue, just go over to the consulate, you probably thought.
Yeah. They were super nice about it. They said you didn't do anything wrong. You're not a criminal.
That's weird.
That was a weird, looking back.
Yeah.
She knew what was about to happen to me.
She knew.
That was foreshadowing, but they never told me in that moment. And then this man came and said, Jasmine, come with us. And I thought I was just going to leave. And next thing you know, all my stuff was taken from my hands and I was thrown in a cell.
So what was your criminal? You can tell us. You had like some sort of criminal mastermind plan in America, right?
I have no criminal record. No criminal record.
So what did they give? Did it give you a reason for why they detained you?
No, to this day, we still don't know.
They still haven't told you?
No. I've had so many lawyers from across America reach out looking into all of my paperwork. When I got released the 2 ICE officers that took me to the airport were actually really nice.
Yeah.
And they went through all of my paperwork and they have no idea how this happened.
The ICE officers.
Yeah, they were the only ones that were nice to me.
Who did you piss off?
No, right?
So what was the first few days of being detained like? Where did they have you?
So when they take you, first of all, they don't tell you anything. I was taken to a room, all my stuff ripped from my hands, cell phone taken away. They took me into this other room, pat me down, ripped my shoes off, ripped my shoelaces off. At the time, I didn't know what that meant, but I realize now, so you don't hang yourself in prison.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's grim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I remember walking and one of the guards handed me this aluminum foil. And I said, what's this? And they're like, that's your blanket. And they threw me in a cell. There was like 5 other girls in there, all sleeping on the ground, and wrapped these aluminum foils over us like dead bodies to keep...
Like the thing that runners wear.
Yeah. I'd never seen that before. But they keep the cells freezing cold. Like I'm talking hypothermic.
Why?
Freezing cold. I mean, when I got out, I did some deep diving on everything they do, and it's very apparent. It's all just torture tactics. Everything in there is meant to break you into a million pieces.
Jesus Christ.
So I stayed in that cell for 48 hours.
And just for a record, what crime did you commit?
No crime.
Okay.
I was reapplying legally. Yeah. I do not support anyone being in any country illegally. Right? Okay. So I was in there. I wasn't allowed my first phone call until the 3rd day. And then that's when I was transferred to real prison. So
multiple facilities.
Yeah. So I was taken for 2 weeks and I was transferred 3 times.
How did they transfer you?
The transfer process is definitely one of the most diabolical experiences. They wake you up in the middle of the night from your cell and they say you're leaving.
Jesus.
And I thought I was going home. And then I came downstairs and there were a bunch of girls down there all crying. And I said, what's going on? They're like, we're being transferred. I didn't know what that meant.
No.
And so when you're transferred, they have to process everyone out of prison. So they put you in your clothes that you came in with. They keep you in the freezing cold ice boxes for 10, 15 hours. There's no food, no water. And then they put us all in chains. So they wrap chains around your waist. They put handcuffs on you, handcuff your hands to your waist, and handcuffs on your feet, and put us all in this prison bus. And they drove us all from San Diego to Arizona. So you're sitting on this prison bus for 5-6 hours. And then when you get to prison, they have to process every single person in again. And you have to go through all the medical tests, all the psychological tests, put back into your prison outfit. And at this time, when you're in jail for the first half, you're kind of getting your bearings, you're learning the ins and outs, and then you have to start all over again. And the second jail that I was in was I've never seen anything like it. There was 30 of us placed into one cell.
Jesus.
All open bathrooms, open toilets. There was nothing in there to do, no windows, nothing. And I wasn't allowed a phone call in this jail.
That sounds illegal. So you were in a cell with 30 other people. How did you assert dominance? Did you urinate on stuff like a dog? Or was it more of a
Like
fight
a
club?
dog?
Was it more of a fight club situation?
You know what? When I first got put into prison, you're like, what am I walking into? It felt like a movie, but thankfully I was in the non-criminal unit. So
Oh, right, because you're not actually a criminal.
Yep.
Right.
So every single person I was with did not have a criminal record, and we all actually became very good friends. Because that's all you have to do.
You still talk to some of the people you were detained with, yeah?
Only 2 people that I was in jail with are out. Everyone else is still in there.
Still there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the average stay in jail is at least a couple months. I was lucky. I only stayed 2 weeks.
So and then you got back to Canada, obviously, and you were already viral, and then you wrote an essay.
Mm-hmm.
So have you heard anything from any of the former detainees about the essay or from ICE or anything like that?
Well, I know that ICE was not happy with me. One of the girls that got out, she called me and she was saying they were all talking about me. Because how I got out has never been done before. I did a live interview from prison. I manipulated the system.
Hell yeah.
I called... One of the Chinese girls gave me her call, and then I called my best friend, who was helping me get out.
Shout out, Britt.
Yep, shout out, Britt. And I was connected through to a reporter that did an interview. So I was in the jail cell. Yeah, I was in the jail cell, and I did a live interview. And then that's when my story went viral, and ICE let me out the next day.
Where did that cell phone come from, do you think?
The cell phone? No. This was like a payphone in jail.
Ah.
It was like an actual, attached to the wall.
Because usually to get stuff into jail, stick stuff up your butt.
Yeah, there was no shoving up anyone's butt.
Look at Mike's face right now. So let's rewind a bit. What was the process of getting into the prisons when you were transferred?
The questions were so bizarre. So first they made me shower. I didn't want to shower because I knew I was going to get placed into the ice box, but they made me shower and then put me into the freezing cold cell for over 10 hours, no blankets or anything.
Were you alone?
I was alone at this point, and then they took me through this series of psychological questions. One of the weirdest ones is they asked me if I ever communicate with extraterrestrial beings.
Do you?
Do I?
Yeah.
Imagine if I did say yes. That's what I always think about. If I told them just straight up, oh yeah, all the time. What would they have done with me?
The fact that, you mentioned that ICE is not so happy with you. Mike, let's go ahead and cancel all my trips to America. Okay?
Already ahead of you.
Yeah. Thanks.
This is going to kill it.
Yeah, thanks. What was the food on a scale from Arby's to Taco Bell? What was the food like?
I don't eat at any of those places, but I didn't eat the food for the first 6 days because it scared me too much.
What did they give you to eat with?
Well, they gave me 1 plastic spoon and 1 styrofoam cup to...
Here you go.
Oh, wow. Yeah. How did you know?
Here's your lunch, by the way.
Oh, what do we have here? I mean, this is way better than what I got in jail. Wait, did you take a bite out of this?
No. You're not gonna... Okay. I'll take it. I'll eat it.
I'll give that back to you.
Okay. So do you still use ice cubes in your drinks, or is that too much of a trigger for you?
What?
So now that you've been to jail, when can we expect your rap album to be dropping?
Are we going to do a collab?
Yeah, sure. What would be the title of your rap album?
We were talking about it earlier. You were dropping some good content.
Mine would be Raw Dogging on a Toboggan. Who was the better rapper, Ice-T or Ice Cube?
Ice-T or Ice Cube?
Yeah. Because they both have the word ice in it.
Is he always like this?
Do you still drink iced tea?
Unsweetened.
Okay. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the world? I got all I need, frankly.
I mean, stay safe out there.
With all the media attention you're getting, what's been the reaction, as far as you can tell, from ICE and America?
Well, I got a very hilarious email from the jail I was in, essentially defending themselves and asking me to take my essay down.
Did you take it down?
Absolutely not.
How much money did the ICE detention center make last year?
$560 million.
How?
Well, when you follow the money, it's pretty easy to put the pieces together. The government gives them grants, and then when they're in there, they cut costs everywhere they can and profit off the prisoners. The more people that are in there, the more money that they make. So they have zero incentive to get anyone out quickly.
So you're a bit of a,
I was part of their business.
I mean, it sounds like you had it pretty good. I mean, a tinfoil blanket, a nice cold ground to sleep on. Maybe you're just ungrateful.
It could have been worse. There was no butt stuff.
There you have it, folks. Miss Jasmine Mooney on a harrowing story, a journey of perseverance. And I guess the lesson here is don't do crimes, but even if you don't do crimes, you can still get detained for no reason by a, authoritative three-letter agency that's been given far too broad a scope of a mandate or something like that. I don't. Well, folks, thanks for joining us. It's another week in the books, and we got a jam-packed episode. I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and we'll be back next week with another special guest. And stay safe out there, folks.